All right, ladies and gentlemen, more action from Oaklamania 2 coming out of Ardmore, Oklahoma, as we are about to see a tremendous event here with a man who in some ways could be considered one of the most underrated stars on the world-class roster, Tigo, at this time, Montego Sika, former member of the Terror Squad, currently a member of the Step Brothers, but this was kind of a period in between as he was on his own, simply known as the Heat Sika, and he was getting some great opportunities against some of the top international stars in the world. He faced off against Eli Drake when Drake was the Impact World Champion, and he also take on this particular match where he faces international superstar John Morrison.
Well, he's got a tall task ahead of him tonight. Heat Sika probably his toughest challenge to date.
Of course, everywhere that Tigo goes, the crowd right there clapping along and following every move that he makes. He's certainly one of the most popular superstars on the world-class roster.
He is a champion all around the world, and also the star of Boone the Bounty Hunter, available now on Amazon. This is John
Call him Johnny Mundo, call him Johnny Impact, call him Boone the Bounty Hunter. Tonight you can call him John Morrison as he goes back to the roots that made him so popular and successful around the world.
I just call him the star.
That is indeed what he has made himself to be. Currently the Impact World Heavyweight Champion, and of course a longtime roster member of Lucha Underground.
Been there from their day one.
The founder and organizer of the Worldwide Underground. And we've already seen his wife, Taya Valkyrie, in competition earlier against Desi Dorada. And right now we're going to see John Morrison take on Montego Sika.
Hopefully he'll fare better than what she did earlier.
Well, I'm sure he thinks so. There's a little fan getting a little Morrison treatment right there. That's what World Class is all about, fans, up close and personal. We want to give everybody an opportunity to have their moment with a lot of the great stars that we bring in for these shows. That's what our meet and greets, that's what our fan appreciation's about. And that's what moments like that are all about here for professional wrestling. It's creating memories like that.
Morrison certainly looks ready to go.
Oh, Morrison always ready. Even when he was injured recently and suffering a shoulder injury, he still tried to compete with that, you know. And he spent quite a bit of time recently on Survivor. David and Goliath Survivor on CBS. Morrison trying to spruce up the appearance there of referee James Beard.
Nothing will do that.
I'm not sure you can go that far, John, but you can try. Big celebrations here from both Morrison and Tigo.
Yeah, I think Tigo, you might want to just think twice about this.
Oh, I don't know, man. You listen to the crowd, and Tigo certainly gets a strong reaction.
I mean,
Here we go, Tigo going upstairs again. That is a powerful reaction from the crowd here at Oaklamania 2.
It's all right. So it's just semi all right.
Morrison gonna see if he can top it. I don't know. That's close. It is very close.
You know what else is close?
What?
Nothing. I was asking if you knew something was close.
I thought you were leaving something. All right, bell rings. We are underway. This featured match here from Oaklamania 2. And as you said, possibly the strongest challenge for Tigo he has faced so far, and he has faced off against a lot of top stars to come through that curtain.
Yeah, no.
Nice nip up there.
You ain't gonna win in the power game, Montego.
Not against Morrison.
Okay.
Well, maybe just to make sure, I guess. Honestly, I'm surprised that Flex Zerba hasn't tried this.
No, don't give him ideas.
All right, and Tigo nipping up as well.
Oh, now Morrison is rallying the crowd, as is Tigo.
Once again, a very split situation, much like the Italian Valkyrie Desiderata match, at least at first.
Yeah, we know how that ended up.
That ended up not so much so, but we'll see if the same is true at the end of this match, as both men with a huge amount of fan support from the assembled crowd here at Oakmania 2. Look at the agility there of Tigo, looking like he's going for the back bend, then goes just roll through and continues the standing wrist lock. Morrison rolling through, ducks underneath, sweeps the leg, and over into a forward front face lock. Now struggle for a position there before Morrison goes back to the standing wrist lock.
Oh, now a roll through there from Tigo.
Another nip up there from Tigo and a reversal. These men moving counter for counter. Good chain wrestling style here. First pinfall attempt there by Morrison, who gets 2 out of it. And back to the neutral position.
Now coming over in a straight low drop kick to the lower back of Morrison. And a kick out.
Morrison still able to evade every single pin attempt here. And the pacing of this match, interestingly, normally you'd have one particular wrestler trying to slow the pace down, one trying to control it. Both men basically working at approximately the same pace. It's kind of a measured pace, or at least it was in the opening moments of this match.
Absolutely.
But now Tigo is trying to kind of pick things up a little bit here, as Tigo moving his way up to that second rope. Is he going to stop at 5? I don't know. Let's find out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, he's going to keep going.
Okay, well then hush.
Full 10 by Tigo.
You got to let him count there. You don't have to count there either. We know that you know your count.
And Tigo with the running drop kick in the corner, pulls Morrison out, hooks the near side leg, but is again not able to keep the international superstar down on the mat for 3.
Oh, Morrison trying to roll away
Yeah,
there.
that lucha style roll, again, that ring sense and awareness there. Almost an instinctual thing on his part, as he can sense the opponent getting near him, wants to create that distance, wants to make it more difficult to put the hands on him, but Tigo is able to catch up with him, forces him into the corner. Now, going to pull him out, Irish whip, corner to corner. Tigo moves in, but nobody home. And Morrison, springboard from the second rope, big Enziguri style move, right to the side of the head of Tigo by John Morrison.
That's classic Morrison right there, springing off the middle rope with the kick to the face. Sends Tigo flat on his back now. Both men now at a stalemate for the moment.
The referee applying the count to both individuals.
Referee makes it a 10. This match officially becomes a draw.
A double count out or double count down.
Count out, you had it right.
Well, either way. And now both men trading slugs.
Oh, wow.
In the middle of the ring. Back and forth. Neither man giving up much of an inch. Oh,
Tigo seems to be having
Morrison
a little bit
dropping.
more.
Well, now, see, Tigo hasn't left his feet yet. Morrison was at least knocked to his knee one time. And Tigo, you're right. Tigo, a trade back there by Morrison. But again, neither man really seemed to help. Now Morrison putting 3 together. Tigo stops down with a kick to the midsection. And Tigo looking to warm up for something off the rope. Oh, running forearm.
No, that's a Superman punch is what that was. And now Morrison's calling for it. Oh, but he got caught with that forearm from Tigo of his own. The Heat Seeker.
Following in knowing where Morrison was headed. Now Tigo can sense Morrison moving in behind him. Not going to let himself be caught that way. Now Tigo off the ropes. Oh my Lord. Wow. And somehow Tigo able to kick out of that move. That move dropped him on his head.
That was a variation of the Spanish Fly.
And still Tigo with enough ability to kick out of that and continue this match. And Morrison now.
We know what he's going for.
Yeah, it looks like he's about to prepare. Nope. Actually, I thought maybe he was going to go for the end of the world, but not quite yet. I think this is just the countdown. As he dives off that top rope. But nobody home. He does roll through, though. Tigo, kick, intercepted. Spin around there. Oh, wow.
Call it in.
But not enough.
Wow, still Morrison still not down yet for the 3.
And even Tigo questioning referee James Beard there, saying, come on, that was 3, right? I had to have gotten 3 with that one. But Beard says, no, only 2. And Tigo firing himself up. Tigo pulls the trigger. Big drop kick in the corner. Morrison out. Tigo immediately with the pinfall, hooking both legs and still unable to keep John Morrison on the mat.
Just barely, though.
The frustration has got to be building up inside of Tigo as he wonders, what do I have to do to put this man down? Can I do anything to truly put this man down?
Well, I mean, there's definitely more than what he can do. It's just he's got to come and reach into his arsenal now.
Tigo trying for the suplex, but no go there as Morrison puts Tigo in the corner.
I tried for the double feet to the face there.
Tigo intercepted there by Morrison, who applies the kick straight to the spine. Tigo suspended, and Morrison, wow, look at that, sliding underneath into a belly-to-back suplex off the second rope. I'm not sure I've ever seen that done before.
I've never seen
But
that.
I have not seen this done before.
Starship Power!
But nobody home. Tigo able to roll inside and prolong the match even more. Could this be the opportunity? Big discus punch.
That's the Heat Seeker elbow.
And it's not good enough again.
And Tigo
can't figure out what to do now. Tigo says, I threw everything I know at Morrison. What do I have left? How much more do I have to do?
Well, you get right back on it.
Well, Tigo trying to do so as he's got Morrison positioned here, going to position him on top of the ropes. Clubbing blow to the back of the head to ensure that Morrison stays right there as Tigo climbs up behind him. And Tigo says, thumbs down, this is it. It's time to go away. Belly back suplex from the top, and Morrison holding on with that right hand.
Well, yeah, if he doesn't, he's going to need a very, very painful ending to this matchup.
And
2 back elbows.
Morrison able to knock Tigo off.
Oh, but wait,
once
look at his
again.
position.
Morrison position.
Oh, wow, look at this.
There you go. Up and over Starship Pain. It's the end of the world for Montego Sika, and another victory for John Morrison.
I don't think I've ever seen from that type of position. I don't think I've ever seen him from that sit-out position on the outside to do the springboard still off of his legs into Starship Pain. This guy is an unbelievable athlete.
Well, we know that John Morrison can and will use anything around him in order to gain leverage, to propel himself off of. We've seen him put himself in such amazing opportunities in various matches across his career, especially in Battle Royal style matches, where he's been able to preserve himself from being eliminated by keeping his feet off the ropes or off the floor in that manner. And he positioned himself on that top rope and was able to use the leg strength, the calf strength there to build up enough pressure to pull the string for the end of the world. And Morrison waving off referee James Beard to go in and check on Tigo himself. just to make sure that his opponent's okay. This was an incredibly evenly fought match. And there you see a sign of respect from one man to another as John Morrison raises the hand of Montego Sika. Says, good job, you almost had me on several occasions.
Well, somewhere down the line, I'm sure Tigo is going to want to get that win back.
You know, Tigo challenged for that Impact World Championship before, and now that Morrison has that around his waist, or maybe I should say Johnny Impact has that around his waist, perhaps another opportunity can be presented for Tigo in the future there. Who knows? On this particular night in Ardmore, Oklahoma, it was a victory for John Morrison. And another great showing here for the assembled crowd at Oklahomania.
Oh, look at that nice little camera shot there.
Photo op there with Justin Roberts, who of course announced so many of John Morrison's matches.
Justin and John.
Well, I do believe that the crowd here at Oklahomania 2 is showing favoritism towards Desi Dorada.
The Warrior Cry, the Spirit Walker herself, always ready for a fight. Like you said, this woman is not just somebody you don't want to mess with in the professional wrestling ring. Don't step inside of an octagon or any other structure that's surrounded by a cage with her, because she will show you she is not scared.
Yeah, she is one dangerous woman, and Taya Valkyrie is, of course, nothing to shrink back from herself, or plenty to shrink back from, I guess.
Well, Taya needs to take Desi seriously.
Yes, that's the point I was trying to get around to. Both of these women very, very evenly matched, except the possibility of experience, which I think lays in Taya's factor there. But Desi Dorada certainly gaining that experience over the past couple of years, having the opportunities besides television, but also international exposure. I know that she's competed over in Europe in this past year, and more of opportunities of that nature are sure to come to her as her career progresses. Bell rings underway. Notice the crouch stance there by Dorada before the more traditional circling up of the opponents. And the tie up here in the middle of the ring, and it's a bit of a struggle, but wow,
no, it's not.
Dorada looked for a moment like Taya had the leverage advantage, and she took one step forward, but Dorada just shoving Valkyrie off. And that's a situation I know Valkyrie is not accustomed to being in. She is typically the stronger competitor in almost all the matches that she's in. But against Dorada, she's going to have she's going to have to work very hard. There we go. Valkyrie able to push Dorada back to the corner, clean break. And Dorada not particularly happy by that. Perhaps there was a hair pull. I don't know.
I don't know, but I don't know. I think Taya's being a little too free-laced with this right now. I mean, we just saw Desi literally show Taya her power and strength there. I would think that would put something into the mind of Taya not to take her too lightly at this point.
Outstanding armbar or wrist lock, and
a roll through by Taya, but a trip up there.
Well, going for a pinfall early in the match, and actually gets two out of it.
Now just a standard front face lock. Look at that. Look at her just smile. That's Taya just smiling at this as if she's got this in the bag already, and I don't know if I would go that far, Taya.
And Dorada trying to find a way to force that arm to come out from underneath her. Valkyrie does that work for her now. Irish whip out of the corner. Valkyrie charges in with a big clothesline.
Oh, but incoming.
Dorada is going to return the favor, and now back and forth these two competitors go.
Oh, wow.
Huge kick to the side of the head by Valkyrie.
I've seen it a dozen different times, and somehow it never ceases to impress me when Taya Valkyrie just throws that kick right into the side of a skull. It is unbelievable.
Yeah, the standing leg stretch, the agility that Taya Valkyrie has. And now back kick there by Valkyrie. And just a straight up knee to the face. Valkyrie off the ropes. Big clothesline puts down the Native American Warrior. And the combinations of these moves certainly wearing down Dorada, but Dorada able to get out at one this time.
You can hear some of the fans here in Oklahoma. They're just chanting for Desi to get back into this, as right now Taya had the advantage, but only for a short time there.
Taya able to, or excuse me, Dorada able to drop Taya now, and a big elbow drop on the ground, on the mat as well, and the kick straight to the spine. Dorada now trying to keep this momentum going.
And Dorada can throw kicks too. Don't think that she can't do that as well. Big
Diving splash in the corner. And again, down goes the Lucha Underground star as Dorada summoning up power through the tribal dance, and now just stomping onto Valkyrie.
Taking aim.
That's right. Could she be prepared to... Oh, beautiful suspended drop kick by Desi Dorada, who now pulls, drags Valkyrie out of the corner. That's the only problem with everything that she did, was that it kept her opponent in the corner. She had to exert a lot of energy to pull Valkyrie out, and that kept her from being able to capitalize on the pin attempt when she probably could have put her away there.
Probably, but you know what? That's the mark right there of a true competitor, as Desi Dorada goes straight back to a chin lock there, almost a sleeper hold there, but now we saw Taya now break away from it and gets met with a back elbow. Dorada has been on point here, has had an answer for everything that Taya has thrown at her. Dorada has responded.
And interestingly, the crowd, who seems to be very much in favor of Dorada when this match started, the crowd now seems to be turning against her.
Well, maybe it could be half and half here. You know, they could have had their creamer this morning, and that's just how they wanted to go, was half and half. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here all week.
Yes, fans, you really did hear that. That's a first for me. And I've worked with Mike on this. Taya Valkyrie.
Get me started with Big Sexy Mike here. He put these women to shame.
Taya Valkyrie into the corner, but is greeted by a boot from Desi Dorada.
And now Dorada with a boot to the side of the head here. It's almost really difficult for me to pick a winner here, because quite frankly, both these women are stellar athletes, stellar performers. I'm kind of in the favor of Desi more than Taya, though.
This match has been very evenly fought so far.
Does that mean you're going for Taya?
That means I'm waiting to see who the winner is. I'm not pushing for either one.
Oh, come on, Vern. You got to get a little bit more. You got to get more on the sides here. Like, who are you going for?
No. I want to see who the victor is. I just want to sit back and enjoy this, and I want to see Dorada put together moves like that. That swinging kick there from a kneel position, and now Irish whip again. Big power slam by Desi Dorada. And somehow Valkyrie's still able to come up and kick out of that.
I would have thought that could have been 3 for certain. The strength of Desi to lift Taya in the air and just slam her down like that. Folks, we may have beaten a dead horse at this point, but you cannot take away from the exuberating power and manhandling, it seems, of how Taya's been taken right now. Dorada now bringing herself back to the standing position while we've got Taya down on a knee, bringing herself slowly back to a vertical base.
Dorada joined with the crowd before putting her attentions back on Valkyrie. Valkyrie hooks herself into the ropes. Valkyrie now drops Dorada across the second rope. Valkyrie, big knee to the back.
Oh, no, not again.
Once again, and both knees right to the face there, as Taya Valkyrie stands tall over Desi Dorada.
Did you see the look on Taya's face that time?
Yes, I did. All business.
All fun and games.
Business here. Now a reverse bear hug before German suplex.
I think she may have landed on the back of her neck. Somebody get in there.
The referee's right in there, but 2.5. Only 2.5. And the wicked smile across the face of Taya Valkyrie shows us that she's got more in mind here for Desi Dorada.
Yeah, I don't know if that's to Desi's benefit or to her dismay, but whether you want to look at it right now, Taya in firm control. And Desi, like you said, is kind of losing some of the people here.
Yes, as this match continues to go on, more and more seem to be shifting towards the side of Taya Valkyrie, who now seems to believe that she has Dorada right where she wants her. Again, those running knees to the side of the head of Desi Dorada.
Well, even still, in her own native land, the man is oppressing Desi and the Arrow Club. These fans should be ashamed of themselves. It shouldn't even be a toss-up at this point.
Running, but this time nobody home.
No, there wasn't a toss-up.
Dorada looking perhaps for the reverse bear hug and German of her own, and she knocks it off.
Turnabout, fair play, and now dropping the elbow.
With the big elbow drop. Dorada trying to position Valkyrie as she stands 1 foot. You're not going to get a pinfall that way, though.
I don't think that's what she wanted.
I agree. I don't really think that's what she wanted. The referee interpreted it that way, did his job, but that was not truly a pinfall attempt. Dorada to upstairs to the top rope. Dorada now off the top, but nobody home.
I'm not accustomed to seeing Desi fly like that.
And Valkyrie drops Dorada straight down, face first, ties up the leg, and now cinches back after grapevining those legs.
We've seen this before. Don't tap. Come on, Desi.
Move.
Desi, come on. Go for that bottom rope. You're right there, girl.
And Dorada used those long arms of hers.
She's
and
there.
She went to that bottom rope.
She is right there.
She is so close to it. She's just got to stretch out about. There she is. She got it. She got the break.
Excuse me, I gotta wipe the sweat away from my brow there.
And Valkyrie seems a little frustrated that the fact that she was not able to get the submission out of Dorada. Oh, intercepts Dorada on the charge, and they're maybe going for a sharpshooter here.
No way. No way.
Turns Dorada over and sits down on it.
It's perfectly applied, too.
And it's in the middle of the ring. Dorada now flat down. Dorada, I thought maybe that was a tap, but no, Dorada now pushing up that upper body strength. That's the only thing that can negate this, is if she can find a way to power out of it.
Almost like trying to roll through there, maybe.
And again, Dorada trying to get herself close to a rope. And she does so again, escaping a second submission hold. How many times can she be lucky at this?
That's not luck, that's just guts, that's heart. That's the courage displayed there by the Spirit Walker.
Well, Dorada not going to be able to walk too much longer if those legs continue to be worked over like they were in that sharpshooter. But right there, bicycle kick. And maybe even straight to a knee to the face by Dorada on Valkyrie.
I think you were right the first time. And spinning around to the power slam.
And that was enough to put down Taya Valkyrie.
What a win by Desi Dorada.
Even Dorada is amazed that she was able to do that. But she is celebratory and thankful at this Oaklamania moment for herself. Desi Dorada bringing the Arrow Club a victory tonight. One-on-one against Taya Valkyrie.
Ladies and gentlemen, your main event this evening is scheduled for one fall. How many? And it is for the IWR World Tag Team Championship.
All right, fans, our final championship bout.
The team of Kaya and Chavo.
I know that gets under your skin again when he does that, Travis. But
It's a very impressive thing, but it
Coyote.
makes me mad because I can't do it.
Coyote and Chavo Guerrero.
What are you trying to do there? Prove that you can't either?
No, I just.
You didn't do it very well. You stopped
I'm
after
not
2
trying to
seconds.
upstage Justin Roberts. It's not that important.
Oh, is that what you're...
Coyote and Chavo Guerrero making their way out here. Noticeably absent Vicky Guerrero, who, of course, was very present when this match was set up. But it seems like it's just going to be Chavo and Coyote to challenge the legacy of the Von Erichs. Of course, Chavo fighting for the legacy of his family The Guerrero family, another great family out of Texas. And
Arguably the greatest Texas wrestling
arguably,
family.
that's what this match is supposed to determine. All starting with his grandfather, Gory. And then, of course, his uncles, Chavo Sr., his father, Chavo Sr., his uncles, Hector, Mondo, and the late Eddie Guerrero. Chavo now representing the continuance of the Guerrero dynasty.
So actually, in a lot of ways, this is a third generation versus third generation matchup.
Very much is, because the Von Erichs, Ross and Marshall, are, of course, third generation stars themselves. Now continue with Marshall and Ross, and for a time before that, continued on with Lacey, who has made her presence here in World Class on one occasion as well. And the ever-popular Strains of Stranglehold, the theme song for Kevin Von Erich for so much of his career in World Class Wrestling. And the song that's continued to be used by his sons. And there they are. Ross up front, Marshall in the back. They are the the World Class Tag Team Champions. Well, they were at this time.
Yeah, it's World Class now.
That's true. And following behind them, their father, Kevin Von Erich, out here to defend the honor of the Von Erich name and to prove once and for all who the greatest family from Texas, as far as wrestling is concerned.
Really, all I see is the brothers here.
Well, I thought I saw Kevin back there. Maybe I was mistaken.
Wouldn't be the first time, so you're forgiven.
All right.
The natives, this is their land originally, and you know what? The man came and took it over from them. So this is just him getting back what he rightfully deserves, and in the process, he's teaming with a lucha legend in Chavo Guerrero.
And they are working over Marshall Von Erich, and I will tell you, this is not the situation that we normally see Marshall in. Marshall usually is the cleanup guy, if you will. He's the powerhouse. He's the guy who is going to come in and clean things up at the end of the match. But right now, they're really taking it to Marshall Von Erich.
You know what's interesting about this? I bet he wouldn't be in this predicament if he wore shoes.
Well, of course, Marshall following the tradition of his father, Kevin, who did not wear boots or shoes for the majority of his career. Happened by accident one time that his shoes were hidden, and so he just went out to the ring barefoot and discovered he liked wrestling that way.
Yeah, well, I'm sure the Aero Club certainly doesn't feel that way. I knew that I was smelling something interesting, and I thought because of the area we were in, I thought that, you know, there may have been some cows or some horses around, but no. I think we can officially say that it's a Von Erich.
And the Von Erichs working nicely together there as Chavo Guerrero makes his way in to save the match for his team.
Well, Chavo's got a lot to prove here. I mean, we came out earlier and they were talking about how the Von Erichs are the most successful family in the state of Texas. And honestly, I think that there is a solid argument to say that it's the Guerrero name that's the most famous name in Texas wrestling. I mean, just look at the accolades. Cruiserweight championships, tag team championships, world championships, mind you.
And of course, Chavo Guerrero, the current world-class champion. This match, of course, from a year ago, but since that time, Chavo Guerrero defeating MVP for the world-class championship. He's ascended to the pinnacle. And so you're right. This was certainly a proving ground match to try to determine which of these particular families was the top family at the time. And both of the families, of course, absolutely legends here, not just in Texas, but around the world. Von Erichs working beautifully together as they have done their whole life. They are brothers. They were raised together, and they started training, I'm sure, from the moment that they could crawl their way into a ring. And it's the same true for Chavo as well. I've seen footage of his brothers, his father and uncles training in the ring in the backyard of Gory.
I'm telling you right now, Chavo, for my money, the Guerrero name to me is the greatest Texas wrestling family that you have ever seen. Now, I know people will argue that the Von Erichs probably have more lineage than the Guerreros do, but I want to clarify something. I grew up watching Chavo. I grew up watching Eddie. Okay, I saw them in the prime of their careers, and I have never in my life seen a Von Erich get to the level of heights or success in any mainstay promotion other than their own that could even come close to what the Guerreros accomplished.
And this is the difference between you and I, because we were raised in different eras of wrestling. I grew up watching the Von Erichs. I grew up when the territories were still a mainstay thing, where you didn't have. We're at the very beginning of national exposure. I saw Kerry Von Erich make his way to the WWF and become their Continental Champion. I saw the Von Erichs rule in territories, yes, obviously in Texas, but also in Oklahoma, up in Missouri, over in Florida. David and Kerry were a big team over there as well. The Von Erich name, and way before that, when it was Papa Fritz and Uncle Waldo, they dominated up in New York as well. The Von Erich name is truly legendary around the world, as is the Guerreros. You saw yours growing up, I saw mine. That's what this match is all about. Who truly are the dominant group, the dominant family from Texas.
Chavo makes the tag in, and look at that, coming right in with the springboard over the top rope.
And Chavo and Coyote have gelled so well together here as they are continuing to work over Ross Von Erich.
And this is what I was talking about earlier. Just because it's not somebody that you may be more familiar with than others doesn't mean that you can't work well with them. Both men, as I pointed out, are tag team specialists. Yes. So they know how to operate in a tag team environment.
Chavo barring that arm, grinding that forearm into the side of the face of Ross just to add extra pressure and pain.
And that body scissors wasn't doing him any favors either.
And now pulling back on the arm and try perhaps to force a submission out of Ross Von Erich.
Ross is definitely not in the advantageous position, and he needs to do something quickly to get the momentum back in the Von Erich side if he can.
Ross stuck in the middle of the ring. He's not, he needs to get that right foot up and give himself a vertical base that he can propel Chavo out of. There we go. Now Chavo able to, or Ross I should say, able to swing and connect with the midsection.
Oh, but
the vertical leap of Chavo Guerrero.
On display fully. Chavo Guerrero still with excellent athleticism and ability to drop kick Ross Von Erich as high as he was able to get and to send him down, but Coyote was not able to put the Von Erich away there.
And the smoothness of what they did. Chavo made the tag, grabbed hold of Ross's leg, Coyote came in, a quick double team, and then Coyote out before the 5 count. That's the type of smoothness that you usually only get from tag teams that are long-term experienced tag teams like
but look at this. Look at this. Well, again, we're speaking back to it.
Yeah, drawing the attention of Marshall. Marshall detaining the referee because his emotions overwhelming him, and the Guerrero Aero Club combination using that to their advantage to double team on Ross.
And now we see Guerrero. He was bringing Ross back to his feet, but that was to his disadvantage now as we see Ross Von Erich. He is finding that second win.
He knows that he's got to get over to the corner, but just as close as he can. Now Chavo cinching back, and this has got to be horrible for Ross because he can see his brother, but he can't reach out to tag him.
Almost a modified version of a camel clutch there. Of course, that camel clutch was created by, I believe, it was the father of it was his grandfather. Gory Guerrero was the one who put the camel clutch on notice. It then was later picked up by the original Sheik, who then was used by his nephew Sabu and the Iron Sheik later on down the line.
Chavo now putting his body in between Ross Von Erich and Marshall Von Erich to make sure that Ross cannot extend those arms and get that tag. He's trying to keep this cut in half, but Ross, desperation, and look at that! Look at that experience of Chavo. Makes the tag, grabs the leg, and again out by
and a hard shot by Coyote.
Smoothness of this tag team. It's amazing to me how well they function together.
Now remember, Coyote is still the illegal man. Chavo is the legal party. But it looks like just for that momentary distraction there, look at that quick reverse in and out. Referee unaware that they switched, but it doesn't matter at this moment. All that matters is that the leg is being worked over right now by Coyote.
And I'll be honest, I'm surprised that James Beard is allowing this to happen because he's one of the most experienced referees in this business. But he's going to allow the Coyote to continue in the match. And yeah, great finding the leg now of Ross Von Erich, who once again finds himself deep inside enemy territory. Ross has got to make a tag. He's got to find some way to break out of this hold and get himself across the ring to tag to his brother.
Oh, look at that. Did you see that?
Yes.
I have never seen that in my life. An athlete using his foot. And remember, it doesn't specifically have to be the hand, but that was great maneuver and strategy on the part of Chavo and Coyote. How can you not be impressed with that? Literally raising his foot for Chavo to get the legal tag in.
Chavo certainly going to take advantage of the rules. He knows all those rules because he knows exactly how to break them. It's a family tradition. We've said it many times before. And Chavo now making his way up to the second rope, going to try perhaps for a superplex off the top.
Front face lock is locked in. He
Can't position it from the second rope. Going to try perhaps to go for the third for a little bit more leverage. Chavo trying to get over. Ross able to block it with what little strength he has left, and drops Chavo face first from that second rope. Ross propels himself off drop kick, and this is the opportunity that Ross has got to have, but a quick tag, and Coyote again, before Ross could really even lay eyes on his brother, Coyote quick to intercept and keep Ross Von Erich from making it to his corner. I don't know how much more punishment Ross is going to be able to absorb before this match could well be over. We may be looking at the last moments here of the dominance of the Von Erichs in this war between the Von Erichs and the Aero Club.
Well, this ain't even just about the Aero Club and Von Erich feud anymore. This is involving the Guerreros as well. And as we can see there, Ross is desperately trying to gain some momentum again, just enough to get back over to Marshall, but it is to no avail.
Oh, and look, Kevin Von Erich has appeared at ringside. Kevin Von Erich has come to ringside.
Well, that doesn't seem right. That seems like an unfair advantage to have Kevin Von Erich there.
Kevin there to motivate his sons, to try to give them some sort of encouragement, but that's all he's doing. It's not like what Anna Lynn was doing.
Oh, stop bringing up Anna Lynn. You're beating a dead horse.
I'm going to tell her that you called her a horse. I'm sure she's not going to be happy about that.
Well, she can go back and listen to this and clearly tell that I said that I did not call her a horse.
Coyote yanking down Ross Von Erich by the hair again as Ross was almost on his way to be able to get to his corner. Kevin on the outside again, trying to coach from the outside and keeping his distance from the ring.
Oh, now look at that. He's calling for
Coyote is going to pull up
the tomahawk chop.
but nobody home. He connects with the turnbuckle and a single leg drop kick. But Ross down, that knee that had been worked over. Ross landing right on that knee. Ross trying to fight through the pain here, but he's almost immobilized.
He better get mobilized quickly. If Chavo gets in this match is over. There's no question to that in my mind.
Ross unable to make it over, and now Enziguri there by Ross as the tag was made, and there's the tag to Marshall. A hot, fired, rested, and ready Marshall Von Erich taking on anybody and everybody that he comes into contact with here. Both members of the Guerreros and the Aero Club on the receiving end of big-time punches from Marshall Von Erich.
Oh, but only so long. Only so long. And now look at Chavo. Chavo going to... Oh, hey, wait a minute.
Ross there to intercept that, cut him down. Ross and Chavo to the outside. Coyote and Marshall still on the inside.
Oh, but incoming. Oh, wow, landed on his feet.
He did indeed, but he didn't quite get all of it there. A power slam there by Marshall Von Erich, and Chavo breaks.
No, did he? Did he get it?
No, referee waves it off. Referee waves that off. He says, no, it wasn't three.
It was certainly close, I'll tell you that. And now look at this. Double team maneuver here. Is he gonna do a suplex to the outside?
They're going to try to suplex him into the power.
Oh my Lord!
Marshall Von Erich as he takes both members of the Guerrero Aero Club combination over, and Marshall with the hand up signifying the Von Erich claw. Both members of the Von Erichs applying the family tradition there to the foreheads of Coyote and Chavo.
Oh, and there goes Ross and
Marshall
Chavo.
still, and Coyote still the legal man. Claw bomb by Marshall, and the Von Erichs stand supreme. The Von Erichs win the match and prove they are the dominant family of Texas wrestling.
They are not proving they're the dominant family of Texas wrestling. He pinned Coyote. If anything, it's just a victory in the war between the Von Erichs and the Aero Club. Chavo didn't suffer that pin.
Well, it still goes in the record books as a victory for the Von Erichs.
That
As
it does.
Kevin Von Erich makes his way again into the ring to celebrate with his sons. And Oaklamania 2 goes down in the record books as another amazing production by World Class Wrestling.
Absolutely, and here we are with the Von Erich brothers standing tall, still your world-class tag team champions.
It's been a great opportunity to show you this footage. Fans, we thank you for tuning in. Be here next week as the revolution continues to be televised.